From AccuWeather.com, this is AccuWeather Daily, a brief host-read article. It's weather news in a nutshell. New York isn't exactly a state that comes to mind when you think about tornadoes. Outside of Tornado Alley, the Empire State does not experience frequent tornado activity like, say, Texas or Oklahoma, right? But this is not a typical year. Through mid-September, out of more than 1,600 reported tornadoes in the U.S., Texas, Nebraska, Iowa, and Illinois accounted for 535 of them, a testament to the realities of living in Tornado Alley. But New York State, notably, has had 32 tornadoes between January 1st and September 15th. Most of the tornadoes, 23 of them, hit back in July, but 3 more touched down in August, and then 4 so far in September. A recent EF0 tornado touched down in Grand Island, New York, near Niagara Falls in the afternoon of September 9th, as well as 2 others in Pembroke and Worth, bringing the annual New York State total to 32, the most ever in the state. Back in 1992, there were 25 reported tornadoes, and in 93 and 2011, 21 tornadoes were recorded in New York. So in such a historic year, what explains the influx of twisters into New York State? Well, first there was Hurricane Beryl, which slammed into Texas back on July 8th, becoming the first one to make landfall this season, and it caused billions of dollars in damage. After moving on from the Deep South, the storm made its way north, eventually arriving in the Great Lakes region and wreaking havoc in western New York in mid-July. The confluence of Beryl's moisture and a warm front led to 42 tornado warnings across the state on July 10th, setting a single-day record for the most warnings in the state. And less than a week later, on July 16th, 10 more tornadoes touched down, including in Rome, where an EF2 tornado traveled more than 5 miles and had peak winds of 135 miles per hour. And one of those tornadoes killed an 82-year-old who was struck by debris. The month of July set a record with 57 tornado warnings in the state, the most since 1986. But what are some other reasons for more reported tornadoes in New York this year? Well, there's improved weather technology, which can get a better handle on tornadoes and their impact, especially in remote rural areas. AccuWeather has reported about how improvements in forecasting and warnings have helped save lives in extreme weather. The advent of cell phone cameras and social media also means that more tornadoes have been documented over the years. Outside of Beryl, the state of New York endured an unusually warm and moist summer. As storms rode a ridge of high pressure in the east, that warm, moist air helped spawn additional severe storms. A little further south, the tropical rainstorm that rolled through North Carolina on Monday won't be named, but many residents across the state, and particularly along the coast, may remember this storm better than some of the named hurricanes that have come ashore. Coastal counties like Brunswick and New Hanover received more than 20 inches of rain, with some locations receiving up to 5 inches of rain per hour. In Southport, which received 23 inches in 48 hours, the realities of the storm played out in real time. During AccuWeather's live broadcast, veteran storm chaser Aaron Jayjack was reporting from a bridge above a creek when a portion of that bridge collapsed, taking a man's SUV with it. Jayjack told AccuWeather broadcasters Bernie Rayno and Bree Guy that he needed to go help that man, a good example of how storm chasers can also serve as vital first responders. When he was able to return to live reporting, Jayjack delivered good news. With the help of other bystanders, they were able to rescue the motorist, who only had minor injuries. Videos shot by AccuWeather reporters on the scene show cars and roads underwater in Southport and Carolina Beach. And just after noon, the town of Oak Island, 25 miles southwest of Wilmington, declared a state of emergency. On the ground, Jayjack, who has been studying, chasing, and tracking severe weather since the 90s, put the historic storm in perspective, saying it was the most intense rain band that he'd ever experienced, and it was pure chaos for about 45 minutes as that band came through. The incident also served as an important lesson. After seeing dozens of cars go through that same spot where the bridge later gave way, he said that's why it's important not to drive through floodwaters, because you never know what's going on underneath. That's all for now. There are more articles and regional forecast at AccuWeather.com, and for your local forecast at your fingertips, download the AccuWeather app. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll be back tomorrow with more from AccuWeather.